What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Marvel's Dark Ages, issue number 4. If you have not been keeping up with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with our post-apocalyptic era and what we have seen from previous issues. Tony Stark being abducted by Apocalypse, taking him to the stronghold that is in Europe. They send Quicksilver in to find out what is going on, to find out where Tony Stark might have gone to. But with Quicksilver returning under the control of Apocalypse, we see him impale Human Torch. With Jean Grey able to break this hold, they find out that Apocalypse is using a group of mind-controlled heroes, including Mr. Fantastic. And this is all in an effort to create electricity, which would not be possible without having their captive, Magneto. Now, be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up on a helicarrier. No longer having electricity, nothing ever working when it comes to electronics, they have turned this into a giant ship that can sail on the seas, using multiple men as the crew, having Nightcrawler as our captain. What this ship does is it transports individuals trying to flee Europe, trying to bring the last surviving members of humanity to some kind of free nation. And the ship's primary purpose is transporting refugees, being able to carry 100,000 plus. They are trying to save as many lives as they possibly can. And we see all of them arrive in Wakanda, our refugees being met by Storm, welcoming them to this new land, this new safe haven where their family can actually grow. Of course, the Queen is not the only individual to greet them. This is where we see Black Panther, and they really just have a quick discussion about how many refugees they brought back and how many more are waiting to flee Europe. And while they all understand the huge risk that comes with trying to transport this many refugees, trying to bring all of these souls over, but as long as Europe is under the dictatorship of Apocalypse, Wakanda's borders will continue to stay open to anybody that needs them. But with this arrival of refugees, this is where we see Pepper arrive completely suited out in the steam-powered Iron Man suit. And that is because they have a mission they are set on getting done. Knowing that Mr. Fantastic is alive, knowing that Tony Stark, Magneto, everything that Apocalypse has going on, this is going to be a rescue mission. But they're gonna need resources, they're going to need help in all of this. And so all of them going onto the helicarrier, having a discussion with Admiral Fury. Now at this point, Admiral Fury, all of his forces, they just got done traversing the ocean, and now you're asking us to return back and take that risk again, not giving anybody enough time to rest. But this isn't necessarily a request. Regardless, Sue Storm and Pepper, they are both headed out. They are going to do this rescue mission regardless if they have the help of the Admiral or not. And so with Fury agreeing to these terms, we see Storm, the Queen of Wakanda, let it be known that this is a threat to her nation as well as her people. With them being held captive, she will go over there and liberate them. And so gathering their forces, we have Victor Von Doom, we have Iron Man, we have the Wolverines, Sue Storm, Peter Parker, all of them are going in for this rescue mission. And it doesn't take long for them to get on the high seas. With Storm taking the wind and pushing their sails, they are on their trail. And later on that evening, they stop themselves 10 miles short of Portugal. With Storm on the edge of exhaustion, they had to stop, they had to take a small little break, at least for the night. And with everyone taking a break, of course, Doom has some input on this rescue mission. saying that this should not just be a rescue mission, this should be a strike mission. We should go in, strike at the heart of Apocalypse, and get ourselves out of there. If we can kill Apocalypse, we might be able to take over Europe. Now, Doom says he has no interest in doing such things. He doesn't want to rule Europe, and he lets them all know if he was going to actually want to rule anywhere, it would be Wakanda. But in the midst of this discussion, this is where we see the young children of Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Peter Parker, and Mary Jane. Both Danny and May, they snuck aboard. Knowing that their parents would tell them no, they snuck aboard to join in the adventure. The only issue is, in that moment, Spidey senses start going crazy. And that is because they are now under attack from the Ghost Riders. With a grappling hook impaling the chest of Admiral Fury, we see him drug off into the water. With them caught completely off guard, they are getting raided by pirates. Now, in this new world, we see that the Ghost Riders, these guys all made a deal with the devil. And so our pirates have been dragging people down into the waters for all of this time. And wasting no time, our team, they jump into the fight. With Colossus throwing Wolverine, our crew, they know that they are outnumbered here. That if they stay in these waters, they have no chance. The only option they have is to get to the Guardians of the Port. With this being 10 miles away, we see Storm, she pushes those sails, and they try with everything they can to defend everybody on board and make it to their location. The Ghost Riders being so close that they can smell them, about to be boarded by all of the Ghost Riders. That is, until the Guardians of the Port make their arrival. A giant dragon coming up from the water, being the one and only Fin Fang Foom. And riding on his back is Ant-Man. The two of them together, they are the Guardians of the Port. And in one giant blast, we see Fin Fang Foom take these pirates off the board completely. And though our heroes have made it across the sea, they have made it to safety. It has come at a huge cost. It has come at the loss of Admiral Fury. And with his death, it is just one more friend that needs avenging. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This one was a relatively quick issue, but we got to see a lot of awesome stuff. We got to see how our survivors are traversing the oceans, what is out there, because there's so many dangers. While Apocalypse is definitely one of the highest dangers they have out there, pirates like the Ghost Riders are just going up and down the seas, taking and killing anything they want. I gotta say though, my favorite thing from all of this is seeing the steam-powered Iron Man suit. Because of course, Tony and Pepper are gonna come up with some kind of idea to keep him in the game. Without electricity, without all of this computer nonsense, he can still have his suit that can pack one heck of a punch. And for those of you that watch my channel a lot, you know that I love the post-apocalyptic, the dystopian worlds, the fall of everything, and just people trying to survive. Because these stories, they really do bring out the best and the worst of every character. If somebody is evil, you are gonna see them turn to a much darker side. While those few survivors, those few heroes, they try to hold on to humanity for as long as they can, as hard as they can. And I think that's what makes these stories really worth telling, really worth highlighting, because we can do these events all day long with Marvel Comics. Whether it be the Devil's Reign, whether it be the Attack of Null, whether it be Empire, just to name a few in the last couple of years. But it is really hard to be able to get this kind of reaction, this kind of emotion from our characters, because in those events, everything always goes back to normal. But in these post-apocalyptic worlds, everything is stripped away. There is no return. There is no comeback. This is where you are stuck at, and you have to try to make the best of it. And while there are definitely some unrealistic aspects to this story as a whole, it really is enjoyable. I think one of the things I'm most curious about is what Apocalypse has on his side. Now, we've seen some of his forces, but we can only imagine the individuals he was able to recruit into his army, ones that he has on standby that Wakanda nobody else knows about. And that is what's going to make the next 2 issues extremely interesting. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.